that. Today's a great day. We're going to have 2 interviews of people at Anchor Church where God is doing things and has done something really cool that we wanted to share with you. And so at this time, I actually want to invite Scott up. You guys might know Scott. Scott has been at the church for quite some time. His fiance is my wife's cousin, Bree. They're getting married in October. Fun, celebratory event. My wife's leading a small group that's going to start up in September. If you're a lady, you want to be a part of a lady Bible study on Tuesday nights, that'd be a great opportunity. Bree's one, she really loves to dig in the Word of God and grow and be challenged. And so maybe you like her. Others, you want to be a part of that. It starts on September 10th. About a month before your wedding, so that's pretty cool. So Gabe Healy, if you know Gabe, his wife Shanna helps out with the children's ministry. She serves there, and if you remember Jared Greeby, the other Jared who led worship before he moved out to Arizona, they're all family connected, and Gabe's a firefighter. Gabe's been a firefighter in our city for quite some time, serving our city, and they have some training that they're doing for free that they're offering to churches and schools and businesses and large congregations. And so Jordan Young, our children's minister, he connected with our buddy Gabe and said, hey, let's get our volunteers that help out with security, our volunteers that help out with children's ministry, anyone who's serving in a capacity, and offer them this training called Stop the Bleed. This is not CPR training, however, we went over some of those elements, but this was a way to try and bridge and connect people with some awareness of what would you do if something were to happen, if someone were to get injured or hurt. And so Gabe conducted this, and Scott was the test dummy. Right, Scott? Yeah. So he got to have the tourniquet put on him, and he had a nice little blankie to cover him up so he wouldn't get cold in there. And Gabe manipulated his body and moved it around into the correct positions to await when EMS could arrive if there was a situation. Fun training, great training. Now, stuff you've probably had before. Tell us about where you've heard of that and gone through that kind of training before.
So I originally used tourniquet training, trauma training in the military, and have carried a tourniquet on me for years before I took the training. But with Gabe, it was a good refresher to be able to act as a dummy for everybody, to be able to know how to use the equipment, things like that.
Absolutely. Now, act as a dummy, right, Scott? No.
I'm trying to give myself credit.
You know, the cool thing about Scott is he's always prepared and he cares. And so he got 4 different tourniquet sets and bought a first aid kit in addition with some of our first aid materials, and has those located. He cares about our church, and he wants to provide a way to serve. It's kind of your way of serving the Lord here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a church, we have kids, we have adults, we have just a multiple variety of peoples, and there's any situation that could happen. Somebody could fall. I mean, you need to have something on hand to be able to help those people.
So we're so grateful to Gabe for giving that training, and grateful for Scott for doing that. We'll do it again in the future if you are interested in it, because you never know how God might use you and what might happen. Tell us about the incident that occurred driving home from Santa Fe, how God put you on the right path and the right road to meet someone in need.
So I was driving back just north of Santa Fe from Nambe. I was coming down 285. Every time I've gone down 285, it keeps me on 285 to get to where I'm going. My GPS had taken me off of 285 onto the frontage road paralleling 285. I didn't think anything of it until I came across the accident. God definitely put me there because, like I said before, I had never been detoured off of 285 before. So it was definitely a God thing that took me off this road. And if I had been stuck in the traffic behind the accident, I wouldn't have been able to do anything.
So he arrived on the scene, the man was in need, and he put the training into action and used his tourniquet that he carries on him at all times to really save that man's life, more than likely.
Right, yeah.
So the Albuquerque Fire Department awarded you with the Citizen Lifesaver Award. Isn't that great there? So let's give God and Scott a big round of applause. We appreciate that. thank you, Scott, for serving at Anchor Church. And if you want to be a part of that, or maybe have some questions, you want his autograph later, you just go see him after service.